If therefore these things are right asserted, she is philosophic indeed as being the demiurgic intelligence, and as separate and immaterial wisdom, Sophia. Hence also she is called Metis by the gods. She is philopolemic as connecting the contrarieties and wholes, and as an untamed and inflexible deity. On this account likewise she preserves Bacchus undefiled, but vanquishes the giants in conjunction with her father. She too alone shakes the aegis without waiting for the mandate of Jupiter. She also hurls the javelin. Shook by her arm, the massy javelin bends, huge, ponderous, strong, and when her fury burns, whole ranks of heroes tames and overturns. Again, she is Lucifer, as every way extending intellectual light, the savior, light bringer, as establishing every partial intellect in the total intellections of her father, Ergain, or the artificer, as presiding over demiurgic works. Orpheus says the father produced her, that she, the queen, might be of mighty works. But she is Kaliurgos, or the beautiful fabricator, as connecting by beauty all the works of the father, the virgin, as exerting an undefiled and unmingled purity, and Agiochus, or aegis bearing, as moving the whole of fate, given the keys to fate, and being the leader of its productions. Her alone has this power, no other gods possess. With respect to the spear and shield with which this goddess, and the statues of her, is represented as armed, Iamblichus, as we are informed by Proclus, explains these in a most divinely inspired manner as follows. Since every divine nature ought to act and not to suffer, in order that by operating it may not have the infectious which is similar to matter, but by not suffering it may not have the efficacy which resembles material natures that produce accompanied with passion, that it may have neither of these. He asserts that shields are powers through which a divine nature remains impassive and pure, surrounding itself with an infrangible guard. But spears are powers according to which it proceeds, without contact, operates in all things, amputating the material nature and giving assistance to every generation, producing form. These powers are first seen in Minerva. Hence, also in the statues of her, she is armed with a spear and a shield. She vanquishes everything, and according to the theologians, remains inflexibly and uncontaminated in her father. These things are seen in secondary degree in the Minerval powers, but in such as are whole, and such are partial. For as the Jovian and demiurgic multitudes imitate their monads, and as the prophetic and Apolloniacal multitudes participate of the characteristic peculiarity of Apollo, thus also the Minerval number adumbrates the uncontaminated and unmingled nature of Minerva, and they are seen ultimately in Minerval souls. For in these also the shield is untamed and inflexible power of reason, but the spear is that which is incisive of matter, and which liberates souls from the perturbations arising from demons or destiny. With respect to the mundane allotment also of this goddess, who proceeds supernally from intellectual causes to earth. Proclus observes in Timaeus, she primarily subsists in her father, but secondarily in the supermundane gods, that her third progression is in the 12 liberated rulers, and that after this she unfolds into light, a liberated authority in the heavens. In one way, indeed, in the eneritic sphere, for there are also a certain allotment of this goddess is expanded, whether it be about the ram, or that about the virgin, or whether it be some one of the northern stars, as the Electra, which is there by certain persons asserted to be. But she unfolds his power in another way in the sun, for there also an admirable power and a Minerval order fabricates holes, according to the theologists, in conjunction with the sun, and again in another way in the moon, being the monad of the triad, which is there, but in another way in the earth, according to the similitude of the allotments of the earth to the celestial distributions. And lastly, she unfolds this liberated authority differently in different parts of the earth, according to the peculiarities of the providential energy. This being the case, it is by no means wonderful that one deity, Minerva, is said by Plato to have the allotment of Athens and Sais in Egypt, for it must not be supposed that because partial souls are not naturally adapted to inhabit two bodies at once, this is also impossible to the gods, but there is a participation of the same divine power according to different places, yet the one power there is also multitude, and by this place indeed it is participated in one way, but by other places in different way, and in some sameness is more abundant, but in others difference. In another part likewise of the same admirable work, Proclus observes of this goddess that it is manifest from the Greeks that her dominion extends from on high as far to the last of things, for they say that she was generated from the summit or head of Jupiter. But the Egyptians relate that this inscription was written in the adytum of the goddess: I am the things that are, that will be, and that have been, but none has ever laid open the garment by which I am concealed. The fruit which I brought forth was the sun. The goddess, therefore, being demiurgic, and at the same time apparent and unapparent, has an allotment in the heavens and illuminates generation with forms. For the signs of the zodiac, the ram is ascribed to the goddess, and the equinoctial circle itself, where especially a power motive of the universe is established, and thus much concerning the philopolemic and philosophic goddess Minerva. Let me know what you guys think of Minerva or Athena. Leave it in the comments so I can respond. And if you like this video, hit the like button and share this video. Thank you very much.